For BWYellowJackets.com, I'm Brendan Gulick, and it is time to talk about the women's lacrosse season at BW. We are almost ready to get things started this upcoming week. We're here with head coach Nicholle St. Pierre, who probably can't believe that it is already this time of year.
Cannot.
Hard to believe we're ready to do a season preview. The winter seems to have gone fast, and finally the weather is, knock on wood, kind of breaking. It's at least not freezing outside, so how about from a training perspective? That has to have helped, at least in that perspective, right?
Yeah, I mean, we spent 2 weeks inside in the mods, and that space isn't large. But we've made it work with the men's program and us sharing. And really happy that the snow has cleared on both turf fields, so we are not in each other's way anymore, and we have been able to be outside every day this week.
How about the difference that having that second turf field has made for you guys?
It's amazing. I mean, we don't even have to talk to one another really about anything. So we get to run our practices around our class schedules, and that's been phenomenal to just have everybody at practice.
Expectations for the season. Historically, the last half decade, right, this has been a really good program and one of the best in the league. And now everybody in the conference is starting to catch up a little bit because the new programs aren't quite as new. So hopefully some more competitive balance in the league. Is it fair to think about it that way?
Yeah, I definitely think everything's kind of evened out a little bit. You still have your top four, which I still put us in the top four bracket. But everything is definitely evening out. I mean, Otterborn and ourselves were tied going into our game on the same level. I'm happy to come out with a win last year on that, but everything's growing, especially adding Marietta, unfortunately dropping Wilmington, but adding a new rival to our conference is going to be huge.
Yeah. The makeup of this roster, you've got a couple of seniors, but a lot of juniors, and in that group, a lot of playing time. Like, they've seen the field a ton the last 2 to 3 years.
Yes.
How do you feel about their leadership?
I'm feeling very confident in the leadership that we have, especially going from our fall season of being very successful, even into the winter when I didn't see them. They were doing their outside workouts. They came back ready for preseason, and we look great, and it's all kind of to our leadership from our juniors and seniors.
Let's talk about your two seniors in particular. We'll start with Megan Patrick. Where has she most grown this offseason, do you think?
Definitely in her leadership role. She's always been a grinder, always been the hardest worker out at practice, but definitely her leadership has definitely grown since being a captain now, and hopefully going to be our third-year captain. Yeah, third-year captain. So she's definitely had time to develop and grow, but her leadership has been huge for our program.
How about Hannah Albrecht, the other senior and somebody who, again, has had to play a huge role the last couple of years? Do you think that she, one, can handle, but two, is feeling maybe the weight on her shoulders of this kind of position for her?
I don't think so. I think she's been handling it very gracefully. She knows when to step in. Megan's definitely been a little bit more vocal, but actually Megan's been missing a few practices due to sickness, and Hannah's stepped right in and stepped up and has been our vocal leader on top of just leading by example through everything. She pulls the group in when things aren't going great. She knows what it's going to take from last year to this year. So she's been phenomenal as well.
How about from the goalkeeping perspective? You've got one goalkeeper on the roster right now. So what are the challenges in trying to push one goalkeeper when right now that is your option?
Right. Big thing for us is to just not have her see as many shots as what she's been seeing. It's been an overload. It's tough for one goalkeeper to see that many shots in a practice, so limiting how much we're going to warm her up to how many shots she's going to see. And it definitely helps that, yeah, she was a freshman last year and she started every game for us, and now she's in this role as a sophomore, so she knows exactly what's coming her way, and I think she's just developing and growing at the rate that she needs to.
Oh, can't wait to see her get out there for sure. How about on the attack? Everybody wants to talk about how good the defense is, but boy, if you don't score, you can't win either. So who should fans be most excited about on the offensive end?
Sure, yeah, Hannah Albrecht is definitely huge for us as a senior. Bree Martineau, she's coming back off of hip surgery last season, so we only had her for the last 5 games. And we have transfer Maddie Ray, who is a D1 transfer from St. Francis that has been huge for us in the power of her shot, which I don't think other teams have seen that from us, but she definitely adds a lot of power and growth to our attacking unit.
How about Jordan Paw?
She is just a go-getter. She missed all fall studying abroad, but hasn't skipped a beat since being back. She's definitely our true midfielder, so she's not going to always see the stats, but she's the most important person that's carrying the ball from defense all the way up to our attacking unit.
Terrific. Let's talk about the schedule. You've got a West Coast trip, you got a few non-conference games, and then basically the bulk of the schedule is the OAC. I know logistically sometimes it's challenging at the D3 level to try to handle all that goes with planning a trip like that out to California, but the two schools you're going to see in particular, where do you think that level of competition stacks up compared to what you'll see in conference play?
Yeah, so a big thing coming into this program last year and especially this year is the strength of schedule. It seems like we're going to have some fun out in Cali, but Claremont Musgraves is a top 25 team. So it's going to be a huge kind of component to see where we are. It's nice that we have 3 games before we head to spring break, because last year we had 1 game. So I'm feeling very confident that we will develop and grow in those 3 games that will get us ready to play a top 25 team again. And then just revisiting other teams that we've seen.
How about from a personal perspective? This isn't new to you anymore, right? And
right.
You've been a coach for a while, but the concept of being here and going through the rhythm that you've established here on campus, you kind of get a chance to repeat and tinker, right?
Yeah.
Where have you most grown, and what do you hope you might be able to change for the better here moving forward?
Yeah, I think just getting to know the team. I mean, that is a tough change. I came in late last year, lost an assistant, hired an assistant late, but was very thankful that I hired a recent grad of the program, so she knows exactly what I expect as well. But what was really important was just getting to know the team. I was on edge last year, they were on edge last year. You could tell that. So it's really important that we've created this family unit, and just bonding was a huge, important factor for me to develop and grow into what this team needs.
Can you tell us a little bit about Taylor and the role that she's playing?
Yeah, Taylor graduated in December, believe it or not. Thankful that she was my volunteer while I was in search of an assistant coach. I asked her if she wanted to hire, so I'm really happy because she was a huge part, senior defender for us last season. And like I said, she bought into me as a coach, and I'm very thankful that she bought into me as a coach right away, and has done nothing but positive things since being on board.
So what are some of the challenges of hiring somebody who literally played last year, and now she's coaching some of her former teammates, and there's a different kind of relationship there, and yet, maybe to your benefit, perhaps she has more relatability because they were her teammates. How do you juggle all that?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely was a conversation that we had to have sitting down, and a conversation that we had to have with our team, but everybody was on board right away. They respected her when she was a captain's defender for us. They respect her now as a coach. And I think naturally, a lot of times people think it may be hard, but when someone graduates, it's separation already happens. They live off campus, they're not in school anymore, so she's working a regular job, and so time changes things, and it just naturally, a separation is happening.
Very cool. Since we don't have too many opportunities to sit down like this for maybe prospective recruits, high school students, or those who may want to transfer in, what's the easiest way to get a hold of you, and what's that process like?
Sure. Easiest way is to fill out the online questionnaire on our athletic website. And then I can touch base with you via email, and then in my signature page it has my cell phone number, so that's always the easiest way. Text, call me. I always have my cell phone on me.
Cool. Well, good luck this season. We'll look forward to covering you throughout the year.
Thank you.
Yellow Jackets are about to get ready to go, coming up in I guess it's just over a week at this point from when we shoot this, but it'll be here before we know it. We'll have as much as you can handle on bwyellowjackets.com all spring.